Due to the graphic nature of this program, listener discretion is advised. Due to the graphic nature of this program, listener discretion is advised. Due to the graphic nature of this program, listener discretion is advised. Due to the graphic nature of this program, listener discretion is advised.
Back from the break right here on W807 1710 AM. And like I said earlier, man, we'd be getting into some stuff like how to prepare. Disasters can happen at any time, any place, and anywhere, and you all very much know you may not have much time to respond. There's simple steps that you can take to be prepared. One, you should make a plan. You should talk to family and friends about the different types of emergencies that could occur in your area. Two, you can build an emergency supply kit. You can have a kit for your house, your vehicle, and your place of work. Be prepared to shelter in your home or to be evacuated. Three, you could get training. You could learn first aid. You could learn CPR. You could also learn how to shelter in place and how to turn off your utilities, like what they do, actual professionals do, like how do I shut off my electricity? How do I shut off my gas? How do I shut off my power to, my home or my water? And finally, the fourth step that you could do to start an emergency kit is volunteer. You can volunteer in your community as a Citizen Emergency Response Team member, also known as CERT, C-E-R-T, or you can volunteer as a firefighter or an emergency medical technician. And I would also like to add in there, being that I was on one for quite a while, you could actually go to your local emergency services and disaster agency, storm spotter team, but they do more than just storm spotting. Like in the instance that I was in, we did a whole bunch of different things. Not only were we trained for storm spotting, we're also trained for terrorist activities. We're trained for search and rescue, different stuff like that. So, those are four things that you can actually do to prepare yourself for the absolute worst. Now, actually, there are some things that maybe you should have on hand, like a kit. And one of the things I'd like to point out, like I said before, the absolute best way for you to be prepared for any type of disaster, whether it be man-made, act of nature, bad storm, flood, earthquake, anything, even an asteroid coming out of the sky, which, don't laugh, it could happen. And the one thing to do is to prepare your kit, and you need to gather supplies that you have on a checklist. You actually need to make a checklist, gather the supplies on that checklist, and you may need them if your family is confined in your home. You need to place the supplies that you would most likely need for an evacuation in an easy-to-use container or easy-to-carry container. And some of those supplies in an easy-to-carry container may be records. You want them in a waterproof, portable container. Like some records you may want to put in there is like your will, insurance policies, contracts, deeds, stocks and bonds, passports, social security cards, immunization records. And also, you also want to remember that there are special items that family members with special needs, such as infants and elderly or disabled persons, might need. For example, for your baby, if you have a young one at home, you might need formula, maybe the baby's medication, extra diapers, extra, sanitized bottles, powdered milk. For adults, we're talking about the elderly or disabled persons, heart and high blood pressure medication, other prescription drugs that they may need. Insulin's a big one. Extra eyeglasses so that way they can see. Contact lenses or supplies for that. Denture needs. You don't want to get out in the field and not be able to eat a, meal instant ready to eat. There's just some of these things that, also that you might need. Like I said, water. Water is very important. Store water in plastic containers such as soft drink bottles. Avoid using containers that would decompose or break, like milk cartons or glass bottles. This is a bad idea for water. Normally, an active person needs to drink at least 2 quarts of water a day. In hotter environments or intense physical activity, man, you could double that quite easily. Children, nursing mothers, and ill people will need to actually have more water. And when we come back from the break, we will actually go more into this kit and actually get into more detail about the kit. I'm Gabba. You're listening to me right here on W807 1710 Chicago, and I do thank you for listening. We're back right here in W807, 1710 AM, Chicago, Bridgeport, and other great cities around the Chicago metropolitan area. Hey man, we were talking about different things that you probably should store. And you should, like I said earlier, you should store, the water. Here's another thing that maybe you hadn't thought about. You should store food, at least a 3-day supply of non-perishable food. Select foods that require no refrigeration, hardly any preparation or cooking, and little to no water actually needed. If you gotta heat the food, you're gonna have to find a way to easily, heat that food. You could go to most of your camping stores, Walmart, stuff like that, and they got stuff which is called canned heat, which you open the top, you light it, and boom, boom, instant fire. You need to select items that are compact and lightweight, easy for you to move around in case you have to get out of a situation quickly. Some things that you might want to consider as far as food are ready-to-eat meals. In the military, they call them MREs, and you can get meats and fruits and vegetables with that. Canned juices, milks, and soup are also an option, but if they're powdered, you're going to have to store extra water. You should also give yourself some staples, such as sugar, salt, and pepper. You should also have high-energy foods like peanut butter, jelly, and crackers, granola bars, or trail mix. Vitamins might be a good idea to pack along as well. Also, foods for infants, elderly persons, or persons with special diets need to be considered as well. And also, it's also kind of nice to have, but, you may want to pack it along because psychologically it will help you out. Comfort stress foods like cookies, hard candy, sweetened cereals, lollipops, instant coffee, or even instant tea bags. Well, we're coming up on another break here on W807 1710. I'm Gabba. If you have any questions, concerns, or comments, you can contact us at www.blogs.myspace.com/GavatronX9. Once again, www.blogs.myspace.com/GavatronX9. Alright, coming up on the break, DJ Storm will have some stuff for you. I'm Gavin, and we'll be right back right here.